So, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. Hello, everyone. How are you all today? Is everything going well? Did you all have a great weekend? What exciting things did you do? Perhaps you went to a party. Perhaps you went to the pub with some friends. Maybe you went dancing. Or maybe you went to a nice restaurant for a meal. Maybe you didn't do anything special. Maybe you just relaxed at the weekend, catching up on some sleep. And perhaps some of you had a sport-filled weekend, running, cycling, going to the gym, yoga, swimming, things like that. Anyway, it's not important what you did. The most important thing is that you enjoyed yourselves. That's always the most important thing. Do something that you enjoy doing. And if you can't do something you enjoy doing, then don't worry. Soon enough, you will be able to do something that you enjoy doing, and then you can really start to enjoy yourselves. Okay, now, where were we? Well, that's not the 100% correct question, is it? The question I want to ask is, what were we doing last lesson? But British people often use the question, where were we, as a sort of synonym question for what were we doing? I think we pick this habit up from school. Everyone's got the same book, and we all move forward through the exercises in the book at the same speed. So when the teacher comes into the classroom, the easiest way to ask what were we doing last lesson is to ask the question, where were we? It's shorter, and everyone understands what we mean. Okay, so back to the question, where were we? I know. I remember we were following the Benchfield family drama, weren't we? We were watching the stress-filled adventures of the Benchfields when they decided to do their shopping. Yes, that's right, my friends. It's that time again. It's time to revisit the Benchfields. It's the Benchfield shopping saga! So, we all know the story so far, don't we? Well, let's quickly recap. Mary is visiting her parents, and Alfredo has to do the shopping. First of all, Alfredo tried to write a shopping list. A written list of all the things that the family needs from the supermarket. Alfredo tried to get the kids to help him write the list. But the whole thing descended into chaos when Tim wouldn't help. So, Alfredo gave up on the idea of writing a list and told all the kids to get into the car. Alfredo decided that it was simpler, it was easier to go to the supermarket and work out what they needed. So, off they all went. But, once again, Tim was causing problems, wasn't he? Tim didn't want to go to the shops and do the shopping. Tim's a very lazy boy, and he wanted to stay at home and watch TV. Unfortunately for Tim, Alfredo wasn't happy about Tim's idea, and Alfredo told Tim to get into the car like everyone else. Alfredo said that Tim's got to help with the shopping too, because he's a member of the family. Now, after they got to the supermarket, I thought that everything would be fine. But no, there were more problems waiting for the Benchfields, weren't there? For a start, Alfredo forgot where he parked the car, and none of the children had been paying attention. This meant that someone had to go and find the car and then come back and tell Alfredo and the others where the car is. Tim volunteered to go, and I bet you can all guess why. Yes, that's right. Tim would rather be outside on his own than inside helping his family to do the shopping. If Tim's outside, then no one will ask him to do anything. And for a lazy boy like Tim, that sounds like heaven. So, Tim volunteered, and Alfredo let him go. But Alfredo told Tim that he had to be back in 10 minutes. Tim left the supermarket. After that, there was another problem, wasn't there? Alfredo only had a 50p coin, and in this supermarket, you need a £1 coin to get a trolley. Alfredo gave John some money and told him to get some change for the trolley. John got some change, but John spent most of the money on chocolate, a soft drink, and a fishing magazine for his dad. Alfredo wasn't very happy about this, but he took the trolley and the whole family, apart from Tim, started to move into the supermarket. Then Alfredo realized that Tim hadn't come back. So he asked Lizzie to go into the car park and fetch Tim, to go into the car park and bring Tim back. The rest of the family went into the supermarket to start shopping. Lizzie found Tim. He was talking to one of his mates, a boy called Eddie Finn. According to Lizzie, Eddie Finn is bad news. He used to go to the same school as the Benchfield kids, but he was expelled. He was kicked out of the school for doing something really bad. When Tim and Lizzie were walking back to the supermarket, Eddie said something to Tim. Lizzie didn't understand what Eddie wanted Tim to do, and Tim refused to tell her. Tim told Lizzie to mind her own business, but I think that Lizzie can sense that there's something fishy going on. When we use the word fishy, sometimes we mean that something is connected to a fish. For example, we could come into the flat and ask, "What's that fishy smell?"
What's that fishy smell?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't smell anything.
But most of the time, when we use the adjective fishy, we don't mean that something is connected to a fish. Normally, when British people say that something is fishy, they mean that something is suspicious or strange. We use fishy as an adjective to show that we think that something is not okay. We don't know exactly what's wrong, but we feel, we sense, we think that something's not right. It's the sort of thing that we often see with detectives. Sometimes a detective can't explain why they think that something isn't right. It's just a feeling they have. They think that there's something fishy going on, something's not right, and so they start to investigate. If someone tries to sell you a brand new Maserati for £100 and they tell you that they need the money right now and they want to give you the keys right there and then most people will become suspicious. Most people will sense that there's something fishy about this deal. This deal is too good to be true. A brand new Maserati for £100? Impossible. So, if it looks like the deal is too good to be true, it probably is. Don't give them your money. So Lizzie felt that there was something fishy about the conversation between Tim and Eddie. But Tim told her to keep her nose out of his business. Still, I think that there's something fishy about the conversation. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Anyway, we know that Tim and Lizzie made it back to the supermarket, and now they've got to catch up with the others. They've got to find the rest of the family and help with the shopping. Come on, Tim, hurry up. Dad's waiting for us. Yeah, hold your horses. I'm coming. Now, where do you think they are? I don't know. In here, somewhere. That's great, Tim. Really helpful. Tim? Where are you, Tim? Oh, God, now where is he? Tim, what are you doing? What does it look like? It looks like you're trying to get out of the shopping. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm just looking at the magazines. But you know that we have to find the others. I told you, Dad's waiting for us. God, Lizzie, so what? Dad's got John and Doreen to help him, hasn't he? Yes, but they need our help too. Idiot. Don't call me an idiot. Why not? You are an idiot. Oh, shut up. God, you're a real wet blanket, you are. You could ruin anyone's fun. Just get up, idiot, and come and help me find Dad and the others. Don't call me an idiot. Oh, stop being so sensitive. If you stop behaving like an idiot, I promise I'll stop calling you an idiot. Blimey O'Reilly, Mrs. O'Reilly, crikey, Batman's underpants and Robin's socks and vest. Cool. Those two are a combination, aren't they? Okay. Now, the Benchfield shopping trip is still a disaster movie, isn't it? Yes, it certainly is, but we're learning more and more English, so, well, that's fine, isn't it? Yes, that's what we're here for, after all. All right, well, let's have a look at some of that language again, shall we? Now, as soon as Lizzie started talking to her brother, she started to use the imperative, didn't she? She told him to come on, and she also told him to hurry up. That's fine. They both mean the same thing, really, although we also use come on to tell someone to try harder. When you're watching your favorite football team, you often shout out, "Come on!" to them. You're encouraging them. When people shout, "Come on, Hungary!" at a sports event, then they're encouraging the Hungarian team. Lizzie is trying to encourage Tim to help, but it's not really working, is it? Now, Tim said something in response to Lizzie, didn't he? Something about horses. And what do you think he meant? Well, what he said was, "Hold your horses," which is a very simple phrase to understand, isn't it? If someone tells you to hold your horses, they're telling you, using an imperative, to slow down and stop. The phrase comes from the times when people travelled in horse-driven carriages. When they wanted to slow down or stop, they had to hold their horses. They had to make sure that the horses weren't free to run. So, when Tim says, "Hold your horses" to Lizzie, he's telling her to slow down. That's all. Now, what else did Tim say? Well, one thing he said was, "I dunno." This is just a lazy way of saying, "I don't know." You hear this mainly from teenagers. When I was a teenager, I said it. We all do. But now that I'm older, I normally say the correct version. I don't know. My parents are very proud of this. Oh, and oh, chocolate eclairs. We're out of time. Oh, supermarket trolleys. Oh well, never mind. I've still got my eyebrows, and I'm not going to cry about any spilt milk. Okay, right then, it's time for us to part. So until tomorrow, have fun, eat dinner, go to sleep, wake up, all the usual things really. If you need more English, You know where you can find it. www.m5tv.hu. I'll see you all tomorrow. Keep on having fun. See you later. Bye.